Yes. Now it worked. Okay, here we go. Second take. Go for it.
Welcome back, guys. Sorry about that. We are having some camera technical difficulty today, but it's all right. It's gonna work.
It happens. It happens from time to time.
It's
all right.
one of those things. How are you, NLG?
I'm good.
Besides the technical issues we've been having.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah,
Everyone,
okay.
welcome to Unhindered Talks.
Yeah,
Today's
for
gonna be a
sure.
really awesome moment we're gonna have together.
Yeah.
So it is wedding season.
Yes,
I know, right? You've been
It
doing
is.
a lot of weddings.
Yeah, here and there.
You've been doing a lot of engagements. Everybody's walking down the aisle and then preparing their moments, with their significant other. So what a better way to start out June, right? Because it is wedding season, than to talk about getting hitched. Let's talk about engagements.
Let's talk about engagements.
LG, we had a fun engagement, right?
Yeah. I was forced into it.
Oh my
It
goodness,
was so
such
bad.
lies. He is lying. He was not forced into anything.
I'm kidding. Yeah, it was interesting. It was awesome. It was
Yeah.
awesome. That's what
I think
can
we
say.
courted for a month and a half.
Yes, we did.
On the third month,
Yeah.
we got engaged.
Yeah.
And then
Fourth month.
Fourth month, I'm sorry. Fourth month we got engaged. And then 9 months later, we got married.
Yes, we did.
So we went pretty fast.
yeah, we did.
And then we learned a couple of things along the way that we wish we had someone to sit us down and just have a nice talk.
Yes.
So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to have a little nice talk about engagement and what you should be expecting and what you should be doing during this process. You're planning the wedding, you're getting everything ready. This is not just the engagement part, I think. I think it's more like dating, engagement together, preparing yourself for any kind of relationship, any kind of serious relationship in the end of the day. Let's be honest, right?
That's true.
All right. So
That is
first thing
true.
we want to talk about, we have a couple of points.
Yeah, let's go.
All right. This
Point
one
by
is
point.
This is like pretty big point.
Mm-hmm.
First one.
Okay.
Sit down, talk about the issues at hand.
Yes.
What do I
That's
mean?
important.
Be honest. Bring light to the stuff that's been in the dark.
Yeah.
And when I say dark, I'm talking about like what you struggle with, what you're having issues with, what's your problems, how do you react to problems, if you like to spend money. Like honestly, like I even wrote it down, like every single thing. Be completely honest about your faith, your sin, your family, your personal challenges, things you hate, your finances, your sex life. Let's talk about that. Your in-laws,
Okay.
what you expect, the things you will not put up with in a future marriage. If you are dating, if you are thinking about dating, if you are engaged, let's put it that way, right? Because that's like, you got to be prepared for all this.
So, and it is so interesting because like without knowing that we were going to talk about this week, well, it was kind of like God planned kind of thing because on our youth group last weekend, last Friday,
we spoke of relationships,
and all that, like how we should honor marriage, how we should act when we are engaged, and just in general, like how we should honor it,
right?
Because it is a God-given,
of course,
for our lives,
for sure.
Amen.
And
there's a
couple of steps that needs to follow, though. You know what I mean? Like,
true.
You can't just like walk into this and go, oh, it's gonna be all fairy tales, let's just plan this wedding. No, sit down. First and foremost, have this conversation with you. Sit down, have this conversation with God, and then sit down and have this conversation with the person you are planning to stay the rest of your life with. Why are we saying this? Oh, we don't need to bring it to light. They're never gonna find out. Lies. You're 24/7 with that human being. Eventually something is going to be a red flag. That person is going to show something. So sit down, be honest, be truthful, put it all on the table, right?
Yeah.
Like,
can I say what we did? Okay. Let me give you a practical example then. Katusha and Katie and I, when we started dating, we did a courtship for a month, just like we said.
Yep.
We spent a month getting to know each other.
Yep. We talked about all these issues.
Exactly. Pastor Marcio, he gave us a little book so we could, pray together, grow together. We after we started dating, then we went to Rodeo Beach and we spent an afternoon there talking about
every single one of the subject. Everything. We put everything on the table. All our past relationships, all our sinful thoughts, all our stuff that we struggle with, our finances, our what are we going to do for the future? What are we going to do for our parents? What are we going to do with kids, with house, with work, where we're going to be? And then the most important part we talked about, and we spent a lot on this, was God.
Yeah.
How is our relationship with God? How is it going to be when we are together, we are married? And the good part, NLG and I are very, very different. NLG is really quiet and I'm really crazy.
Believe it or not, I am quiet.
Yes. So then it really put into perspective for us, okay, I'm the crazy one, he's the quiet one, and we need to figure things out. But I'm the one that has more courage, and I'm the one that really speaks more no, this cannot be done. Nope. Nope. And I always call out on things I don't see that is right. And that's one of the good part about us. And we respect each other.
We work together.
We work together on that.
We work together.
And so it is really important to lay it all out. If you are planning to get engaged this year, if you are in a relationship, if you are planning to be in a relationship at any time, figure yourself out. This is important. Who you are as a person. What do you expect? What do you want out of this relationship? Know who you are in God. So when you walk into that relationship, that relationship is not oh my God, I have to have everything in this relationship. No, it is a partnership. It's an add-on to your life. It's a bonus. It's a plus that God is giving you, and you're gonna walk with that person and grow together.
And you said something very important, like you said about expectations. Setting expectations is one of the most important things that you can do as a couple. Oh my goodness. Because we go into this thinking, oh, it will be all roses. It'll be so beautiful. Yes, it is beautiful.
It's great.
Sometimes.
Yes.
Not all the time. It is so beautiful. It is a beautiful institution. Getting married, having someone by your side. But you must set expectation from the get-go.
No, and you do. And that starts when you're being single. I believe that you have to learn to first and foremost, this is for everybody. Love yourself. Learn to love yourself. Spend time by yourself. Learn to be okay by yourself. I think we both learned that before we even started dating.
We did.
Because we really needed to spend time. I remember, and I think I told the youth this. I've gone to a couple restaurants by myself for dinner and just had dinner with myself. And then I used to go to Barnes and Nobles all the time, because I like reading, because I'm a bookworm. And I would just sit there for hours by myself and just read and study. And it really made me grow, because sometimes you have to travel. Sometimes you have to be out of places, and I have to be okay here. It's like I get to have someone to share life with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like you're being forced to be here. It's a chore. No. And when you don't expect so much, you learn to treasure each other more. I look forward to coming home after work, and then we spend time together, right? It's our moment. But honestly, I believe that came with, we built this friendship and we put everything on the table.
Yes.
And the other thing that really, really, really made it a point for us, we both have parents here. Our parents are very involved in our lives, and we go see our parents, and they're much older and everything. And we're, of course, they're part of our lives, but we set boundaries that for our parents. The Bible says, right?
we
You-
should leave.
Should. The
father
word
and
I would
mother.
have. Should leave your father and
We
mother.
shall.
You're not abandoning them. No, but you do have to have a time that you are growing with your spouse. That beginning of any relationship is really, really hard, especially when you walk into a marriage.
Yeah.
And a lot of people plan weddings, plan a marriage, and they base everything on the party, on the dress and everything, but they forget the actual marriage part.
Yeah, so Genesis 2:24 says,
Yeah.
Therefore a man shall leave his father and his mother
Yep.
and hold fast to his wife. So, and they shall become one flesh.
I really love this one, shall become one flesh.
Yeah.
And this is like my second point. So, before you walk down the aisle, resolve your issues.
Yes.
And we've talked to friends and people that have gotten engaged after us and helped them. I wish someone told us this, right, NLG? The little things.
Yeah.
The little tiny problem. Oh, it's so dumb. No, we're not even going to fight about it. Yes, you are. It's going to be blown up like a magnifying glass, the issues, and it's going to be huge because you are so new to it, right? You're so
Yes.
new to this
Yes,
new season
you
of
are.
your life.
You are.
You're stressed out. You're trying to become a wife. You're trying to become a husband. You're trying to be good. You're trying to be this. You're serving the ministry. You're walking with God. And you're balancing work. You're balancing friends. And you're balancing a marriage. You're balancing all of it. And then, like, here you are. And one tiny issue comes up. Learn to sit down and talk through your issues. And
Yeah.
actually talk about the issues you're actually having problems with at that moment.
Yeah. And while you were talking, I remembered a story in the Bible.
Yeah.
A story in the Bible. It's in Songs of Solomon 2:15.
Yeah.
It says, the little foxes harming the vineyard symbolizes potential danger to relationship. The verse itself says, catch for us the foxes and the little foxes that spoil the vineyard, for our vineyards are in blossom. So it means that, the little foxes, the little animals, the little things
Those
that you
little
think,
tiny issues.
Yes, the little things that you think, okay, this won't matter at all,
Oh.
but they are the ones that were coming into the vineyard
Yep.
and is spoiling the whole harvest.
Yep.
So, here in Songs of Solomon 2:15, it's just like tells us to really be careful with it.
Yeah.
Be careful with all this, because the little things are the things that will destroy
Yeah.
or make your relationship
Right.
better with your loved one.
No, I 100% agree. And this is actually is for any relationship, this advice, if you think about it, any relationship, right? We're talking about the specific thing, but you got to learn how to talk through your problems with any issues you have.
True.
Like, you can't just sit back and dust it under the rug and just pretend it's not gonna be there. The other thing I want to bring up is fighting fair.
Yes.
We had to learn how to play, fight fair,
Yes,
right?
we did.
We had to understand first, the principle is that what I'm saying to him is reflecting of who I am. It's coming back. Again, in Genesis, it says we are one flesh, meaning the words that are coming out of my mouth and going towards you, it's reflecting the person I am. It's deflecting, literally reflecting like the wife, the husband we are for each other and our relationship. So guys, fight fair. Be fair. And what do you mean, Katie? How do we fight fair? Well, first and foremost, one thing we've learned is when we start a conversation, every time we have an issue, I go, NLG, let's sit down.
Yeah.
Let's work this together as a team.
And I do the same.
And he does the same thing. Did we know this? No.
Nope.
Oh
We had
my
to
goodness.
learn.
We had to learn. Oh, and we so wish we had someone to sit with us and tell us this.
Yeah, and learning those things, it's not easy.
No.
It's not easy. Because when we started, first of all, we started on our relationship very early.
Yeah.
When I say early is in less than a year.
We were married.
When we met.
Yeah.
When we completely met, we started talking.
Yep.
And until the actual marriage day, it was less than a year.
Totally.
So I didn't know you. You did not know me that well. But we knew that God wanted us, was leading, like He was leading us.
He had a purpose for
together.
both of us together.
Yes, He did.
Yeah.
But learning all this, all the marriage intricacies, and also learning about each other, it is really hard. So that's why it is always good to have someone that either has been through it, or that knows what it is, close to you, so you can be either confident or you can walk with that person. But that person needs to be trustworthy as well.
For sure. And that's the one thing, you know, if you are going to bring people in to help you in that relationship, any relationship, you have to understand that you have to have somebody you trust, someone that is going through the experience, someone that has gone through the experience, someone with a healthy marriage, someone with a stable marriage that can actually show you and walk you through the steps. And you have to remind yourself, your marriage, your relationship, your life is not going to be the same, but it's going to have similar things that we all go through when we get together.
That's true.
So the other thing we learned, and this is like our biggest rule. So we deal with a lot of people on a daily basis, you and I.
Yes.
So when you and I don't agree with something, or you said something wrong, or I said something wrong, we have a deal in front of people and everyone else. We have each other's back 100%.
True.
Right?
We fail at it sometimes.
Sometimes.
We for sure we try to do this.
We try to do it.
Yeah.
Once in a while, when we're like tired, exhausted, we like
when we need a nap.
When we need a nap, we fail. We're humans, everyone.
Yes,
we are humans.
But
we are learning also.
But we try our best to always get each other's back.
For sure.
So that's important.
So that's the other thing we learned, that even when we are wrong, right? We've learned that we don't correct each other in front of people. We wait until we get in the car, and we have the saying. We go, in the car.
In the car.
We go, in the car.
And you know, I want you to get this, like you that are, you that is watching us and listening to us. It's not that we agree with each other's mistakes. That's not it. But we respect each other. That's a difference. Because when, for example, if I am doing something wrong, or Katiusi is doing something wrong, and we don't deal with it later, or you know, like in our
privacy.
Privacy. Exactly. If you don't deal with it in our privacy, then we're being accomplices to each other on that wrong thing.
Exactly.
And that's not what
what we're saying.
We respect each other in front of people, so we can deal with it in our privacy.
Right.
And couples do not deal with your personal stuff in front of other people. That's
and so we've learned over the years, and we're still learning, to fight fair, right? And to actually, when that goes wrong, and trust me, if anybody that knows me, if my husband did something not right, when we get in that car or we walk into our house and we are by ourselves, I'm like, nope, we're sitting down, we're having this conversation. And he does the same thing with me. We do hold each other accountable, which is a great thing. We've learned to do that. And we're very fair to each other. Even when we correct each other, we're still very loving and caring. And that's really, really, really good, because that shows that we care for each other, but we also care for this relationship.
And that's where the respect comes in. That's where the respect comes in. Because if you don't respect each other, you know, you go at each other's throat in front of everybody, and that's ugly.
Oh my goodness, it's so ugly. People,
and it is uncomfortable
for the other people. It's so awkward. You make it so awkward.
Yes, it is. It is.
People, listen. Don't fight in front of other people. If you disagree with your spouse, just let them finish their sentence. Even if you don't agree with it, even if he or she don't agree with it, then you go home and you have that conversation in private.
Right?
Privacy.
That's a key word.
That is a key word right there. And don't brush things under the rug. Hold each other accountable. You are there to actually and we
improve each other.
Exactly. And then we always say this: if I'm not I'm here for a purpose in your life, and you have a purpose in my life, and together we have a purpose that God has set up for us to do. And we've talked about this as couples.
Yes.
If I'm not making you grow as a person, and you're not making me grow as a person, and we're not growing as a couple, we are not doing what God's purpose is for our life. And one of the biggest things we need to do, and we have to learn, is that we have to hold each other accountable at all times.
We do.
And so that is one big thing. Learn to speak kind words, even when you're fighting fairly. If you're having an argument, even if you disagree, learn to fight fairly. And what do we mean? Like, again, what the words are coming out of my mouth is reflecting who we are as a couple.
Yeah.
So everything it's saying is reflecting back to NLG and coming back to me. So we've learned that we don't put each other down. If I don't appreciate something NLG has done or said or things like that, I go, hey, I didn't like that. Please don't do that again. Again, we're also learning. Like, we've been walking together for 12 years in this marriage, and we're almost 12 years, and
almost 12.
We still have issues, especially now, because we have ministries that we're helping with and doing. And so sometimes we don't agree with things, and we have to come home and we have to talk about it, and we just have to come into an agreement together.
And everything's so new too.
Yeah.
So, it is a daily learning experience.
It's a lesson every day.
Especially when you have ministry, you have secular jobs, you have your intimate life, you have your
friends, you have every family,
like,
you have everything.
So much going on, and it is a learning curve for everyone. I would say, because having that in mind and working through it, it is hard, but it is worth it.
Yeah, for sure. And listen, when you decide to get married and you do decide to have that person in your life, and you are going through that engagement and you're ready and you've put the work in you, through you, you've talked to God, you've told God what God, this is the relationship I want, God's confirmed it, then you have to choose every day.
Yes.
You got to choose to be in it every day. I've noticed a lot of people, especially during COVID, a lot of people, the stuff that they put under the rug that came out during COVID, they wouldn't be able to deal with it. And a lot of people went through divorce.
Yeah, unfortunately, during COVID, I was watching some stats. It was saying that more than 50% of couples that were married came out of
the marriage
of the whole COVID thing. Divorced.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So divorce rates during and after COVID
was huge, right?
Yeah, it was more than 50%.
Yeah.
Like before was right around 50.
Yeah.
But after that, then you start thinking, why is that? It's because the little foxes, they were in the relationship. They were there all the time, but they were just,
pushing it in under
just
the rug.
No problems.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's okay. It will get better. He's gonna be fine. I'll change him. Oh my gosh.
No.
You don't change anyone.
No.
Remember this. That person comes in, you gotta accept that person who they are and what they are. If you are looking into like, oh, this I can change. No, it's never going to work. I'm telling you right now, no matter how much you try, it will not work. And I love how I'm going to pray. I love this. I'm going to pray so God would change my husband. I'm going to tell you right now.
You might be changed.
Let me tell you right now what happens in prayer when you pray for your husband. Yeah. All right. This is the greatest part. I love it because I've learned this because I decided to pray for my husband. And guess who the person was changed in the beginning of my marriage? Me.
Yep.
God worked in me first. The whole time. He didn't work in NLG. The whole time God worked in NLG, it was on me. You remember this?
I do. I do remember
struggled.
That.
Oh my gosh, how I struggled. I'm telling you right now, if you are sitting there and you're going, oh, I'm praying for my husband to change. I'm praying for him to come around and do the dishes. And I'm praying for him. Tell him, hey, I need help with the dishes. Hey, I need help with the kids. Hey, I need help with this. Hey, I need help. Speak it up. Don't go, oh, I'm going to pray and let God deal with it. There's some stuff God will deal with him in his own. Mm-hmm. That's something else.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's completely different.
Yeah,
but if you are praying for God to change something about your husband, I want to give you a reality check right now, ladies. I'm going to speak to ladies and men, actually. Ladies and men, listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth right now. You are going to be the first to change.
Yeah.
The change that you want in your family, in your household, in your life, at you, even as your walk with Christ is all you, has to start with you. And guess what? The moment you start praying, God, change my husband, God's going to change you. Yeah. He's everything you pray for him. God, give him patience, give him kindness, give him love. God is going to start to do it to you.
Yeah.
And pay attention. Because you're going to think like, oh no, that's not true. No, pay attention. It will happen.
You start changing.
Yeah, and it's so funny. It's so funny because then what happens is the moment you change, you become the change you want to see. Everything else starts to work.
Yeah. And when we were talking about communication, like don't wait for your loved one to kind of by a miracle know what is in your head. Put it out, like talk about it.
There's no crystal ball.
There is no crystal ball. Like you mentioned that, if you need help with the dishes, if you need help with anything, just ask, talk.
Yeah.
Talk.
Yep.
That's a very important point. So
conversation is huge. Have a conversation with your partner.
Being married is a choice, and it is a choice that you have to make every day. Single day of your life.
So if you're a silent person,
me,
you're a silent person, right, NLG?
Yeah, that's true.
I want to suggest something to you.
Yeah.
Learn to actually put not just in your head, because that person that talks is doesn't have a crystal ball. She can't guess what you're thinking. And one thing we did was we asked for help. We went to therapy. We went to therapy. We asked for help because I wanted to make sure that my point was getting through and that his point was coming through to me, and we wanted to make a good communication. Some things had to happen for us to get there. It took a time, but now we finally got there. It's so much better. Yeah. Do we still need to improve? Always. Of course. We are always going to need to improve. We're human beings. Yes. Right?
Yes.
And so it's important for you to talk. It will make, and I wrote this, it will be 100% easier if you choose your spouse every day and have a communication with your spouse every day. Yeah. It will help 100% of the time.
Yeah.
And we've seen and we've worked with people that we have seen this happen.
Yeah. And
in both ways.
Yeah, exactly. And let me just, raise a point here. You spoke to the girls. Now I want you to speak with the guys.
Yes, please speak to the guys. Yes, guys.
Okay, guys.
Listen, guys.
Guys. So
talk to them.
Guys and girls too. Because look, us guys, we are simple people. We are so simple. Yes, we are. Yeah, kind of.
Depending on the guy.
Yeah, and sometimes we just like to be quiet in our place, do nothing, just watching something. I don't know, just doing nothing.
Driving and not talking.
And driving and not talking. And that's a guy thing to do. There is a time that we need this space, and spouses understanding this space, understanding that sometimes I need some quiet time, but understanding that sometimes I have to suck it up and I have to communicate too. That's very, very important. Both spouses, women, they like this communication. It is easier. It comes easier to women to
for
communicate
sure. 100%,
this way.
Yeah.
To men, it's so much harder.
It is.
But we, as you said, we did therapy. We went through processes that helped me open up a little bit more. I'm still a work in process. I'm in progress. I'm still, working on it. Not perfect at all, but I'm still working on it. And, it is a day-to-day thing that I have to remind myself. Okay, so sometimes she comes back from work. She wants to talk. She wants to know how my day is. And then comes 200 questions at the same time. And sometimes that's all right.
That's all right,
because it's the time that she needs to communicate with me. And as the same way that she understands that sometimes I need my time quietly. Sometimes she comes home, if I'm working in my office up here and I'm just quiet doing my stuff, she comes, give me a kiss and leave because she knows that I need that time. So it is important. We need to choose our spouse every single day. Look, love will pass, respect will not.
Definitely.
Sometimes 100%. I don't love her. Sometimes she doesn't love me. No. But the respect is there.
Exactly.
The pillar of respect in our lives is strong. And we will not, mess it up because we understand I need my time. She needs her time sometimes. And sometimes I have to suck it up and I have to communicate. Get out of my guy mentality and starting to communicate.
I love the guy mentality part.
Yeah, right.
You mentioned something really, really awesome right now. And you said, besides the guy mentality and you need to communicate, it is essential for women to have conversations sometimes.
It is.
Right?
It is.
And it's essential for men. Also, there are a couple of men that, there are quiet women and there are men that like to talk. And it's essential for those people to have that. But the biggest thing you said is that, you have to choose that person each day.
Yeah.
I love how people go, oh, but I love him. I'm going to love him forever. Girl, the moment he is not putting the dishes in the dishwasher, the moment she is driving you crazy and saying nonsense to you, you are not going to be excited about that. You're going to go like, oh my God, she's driving me crazy.
What did I do?
Oh my God, he's driving me crazy. Oh my God, what did I do?
Yeah.
Why am I?
Yeah.
You know what? Let's be realistic. There are days we have bad days. We are stressed out. We're tired. We're overworked. We're overwhelmed. There's a lot going on. And if you don't respect, have a good communication, care for each other, have that friendship, that respect for each other, it's going to be really hard. Really, really hard. Because there are days that, like you said, we it's like, energy, man. That's normal.
But like you still love me. You still
I still love
me,
you. Care
Thank
for
God.
you, right?
Thank God, yes.
The other thing I want to mention, and this is the other thing that really helped us on our walk when we were in the process of getting married. Pray together. Pray together. Yeah. Take the time to pray together for the needs of for each need of your relationship. Lord, come into our finances. God, come into our emotions. God, come into our lives and our marriage, our future kids. Pray for every single thing already. And those that are not engaged, not in a relationship, start praying for that stuff already. So when that stuff comes, you already know what it is. You already know how it is. You know what to expect. You know what you want, right? Yeah. So it's not just the engagement part or marriage part. No. Do it before you even get there. So put God as a priority in your marriage, in your relationships, always. In any relationship, any friendship, if you have a friend and you're praying for that friend, if you have a couple that's a friend, you're praying for them, you got to put God first before you become their friend so God can show you what you can do to be a blessing in their lives. I believe that every person that comes into our life, there's a purpose for it. And we are somehow there for a purpose, right? And sometimes our purpose is to listen to that couple. Sometimes the purpose is to pray for the man or to pray for the wife or to be silent. So how are you going to know what your purpose is for that human being? I'm not even going to say couple. I'm going to say human being. If you don't know, because you don't take the time to pray with God. Yeah. You don't have the time. Yeah. So pray, worship God, take your moment with worship. Put some songs on.
It is so interesting, like how unintentionally, like without any planning, our church series, they align with what we're saying.
Isn't that funny?
We just started our Pillars of a Family series in our church, and the first one is God.
Yeah, God.
God needs to
God.
be the center. He
Of
needs to
all
be the main
of every
pillar.
your life, your relationship, your family, your marriage, every single thing. If you are prioritizing something else, oh my goodness, you are gonna
Something's
be
wrong.
so disappointed. You are gonna be frustrated. You are gonna get angry. You're gonna get mad. You are going to be a person that carry just all of that hate and that angerness. So I want to give you this because it is important for you as a human being. Put God first. Put God in your relationship. Put God in your life. Put God in every single thing. Read, worship God, listen to songs that actually make you, get closer to God. Because there are songs that don't make you get closer to God. It just exalts you. I'm talking about the songs that exalts God, right? And choose Bible verses to learn each day. I love a couple of Bible verses I want to leave with you guys today. So Ecclesiastes 14:12 says, though one may be overpowered, two can defend themselves. A cord of 3 strands is not quickly broken.
Yeah.
How?
There is a strength in numbers.
There's always strength in numbers. And imagine if we just did this, you and I, without God.
Yeah,
oh my goodness, we would be so frustrated.
Yeah.
Again, why the divorce rate is so up, why families are getting frustrated, why relationships are frustrated, why people are frustrated, why people are getting angry, and people are going through marriages and relationship, even with yourself. Oh my goodness. The number one thing we struggle with is is forgiving ourselves.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And so when you have God first, it's so amazing. When you put God there, it's like you do God, and then you learn who you are, you grow, and then you take that growth and you have a relationship with somebody else, and then you have a relationship with a person you're going to spend the rest of your life with. So it is so important, so completely important.
Yes.
The other thing I want to leave for the couples that are not engaged yet. They're starting, right? And as Christians, we kind of want to reserve ourselves.
Yeah, honor. Yeah, just we spoke, we have to honor our lives.
Right.
So our marriage will be an honorable
Exactly.
marriage.
And so a couple of things I want to leave for those that are not in that engagement, not in the marriage part. We've talked about, I think, every aspect of it today. But so when you're waiting on the waiting part, and we talked about this.
Yeah, the waiting.
When you're waiting part, you're learning about yourself.
Yeah.
You're learning who God is.
Yes.
You are learning what to expect. But you are expecting not from that person or from yourself, you're expecting it from God. Because when you expect from God, you don't get frustrated.
Yeah.
God doesn't frustrate you.
Absolutely.
Right? So here you are in a waiting period, and then you meet somebody. When you meet somebody, it is so fun. It's so great. Oh, I get butterflies. Those will go away.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
I love to see people freshly dating. Love the butterflies. But also, that is something you got to understand that won't last forever. So make a purpose, make a plan for you. So if you're dating, I want to give an advice for the dating people.
Okay.
Don't be alone. Have a third person there, or even a couple. Oh, but I don't want a third wheel. I want to get to know the person. You can get to know the person
and have the third wheel.
And have a third wheel.
Fine. But it is really good for you to have a third wheel.
It
is you creating a safe space so you can know the other person.
Exactly.
And you can build a good relationship. But don't forget, even on the third wheel, you must have boundaries.
Boundaries, completely.
Because I have seen so many times
people
that have that third wheel, that person that is there to guard the relationship.
Yeah.
And it is great. It is awesome. It is perfect.
Right.
But that third wheel will start to try to control the relationship. So
there has to have boundaries, for sure.
Boundaries.
Yeah.
Even on the third wheel, you must have boundaries as a couple, as building your relationship, but Even for the third wheel,
Even
make
the
some
third
rules.
wheel, make some rules. So definitely don't be alone if you're dating. Don't make the dumb mistakes of like, oh, let's hang out on the couch. My parents are in our home. Da, 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 da. Dude, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
It's a recipe.
It's a recipe for disaster. Guess what? Your flesh is weak.
Yeah.
You have a weak flesh, and no matter how much you pray, no matter how much you of a Christian you are, and oh no, I'm good. No, you are weak. Our flesh is weak.
Yeah, something's
gonna go wrong. So if you're in a waiting period, seek God. Find out what your purpose is with God. That's, serve, be in the ministry, have fun, enjoy that moment, but also expect from God what God is planning for you. Yeah. When you're dating, be careful. Watch out. Talk about the stuff that you don't want in a relationship. And when you are engaged, talk about your finances. Talk about what you expect in this marriage. Talk about your faith, your sins, your family. Like I said, your personal challenges. Oh my goodness. Talk about your finances. Talk about if you are engaged, and this is only for engaged couples because you're getting there, your sex life. What you expect, especially like there's people that are, if you are a virgin, or maybe you weren't a virgin, but now you're waiting on somebody special and you're saving yourself,
There are expectations.
The expectations. What do you expect? And the things you hate. Tell the person the things you hate, right? That's so big.
Yeah.
And then talk about your in-laws. Talk about your expectation for your families, where the boundaries are going to be, how you're going to handle your family, because now you are your own family. And I want you to understand this, that the moment you get married, that's your ministry. Not your mom and dad, not everything else. You should
honor them.
You should honor them, respect them, be there for them, but you now have a ministry called you and your significant other.
Yeah, therefore, a man shall leave his father and his mother and hold fast to his wife, and they shall become one flesh.
Yes.
It doesn't say, therefore, a man shall build a house, bring everybody in, including all the in-laws possible in the world, and try to fight with his wife about whatever it is. No, it's leave everybody. Build their own home. Build their life together. Their relationship, and have God as your main pillar.
Exactly. And so we want to leave today with that. Mm-hmm. The first pillar is always God, and then everything else will follow.
Will follow.
First God and everything else.
Yeah.
We hope you liked the talk today. Relationships was really great.
It was good times.
Good times.
Good times.
We like this talk. This talk has made us grow as human beings, pastors, and spouses, and with our relationship with our friends too.
Absolutely, yes.
So thank you everyone for tuning in. Yeah. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you send it to everybody that you think, oh my God, they have to listen to this word today.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
And don't forget, we are everywhere. We are
we are everywhere.
We are even TikTok now.
Oh my goodness, we are in TikTok, everyone.
Yeah, we have everything. So God bless you.
We'll see you next week.
We'll see you next Monday. And don't forget, share this word with everybody. Yes. May we be a bless for you and be a bless for somebody else as well.
Amen.
God bless you, and we see you next weekend.
Yep. Take care.
Next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.